Today we're going to be looking at 3 more benching mistakes destroying your neck and shoulders. If you haven't seen the video I did talking about the first 3 mistakes, I will link to it in the description and you can go and check that out. But first, let's get to these 3 next mistakes that you might be making. The first mistake that you might be making is tucking your chin. Now, in the first video, we talked about lifting your head off the bench. This is the opposite problem. Some people want to drive their chin into the bench. And so as they do the press motion, they go down. Usually this happens when you're lifting really heavy weight and you're tucking your chin really hard like this. It's going to give you like a quadruple chin. It's not the kind of chin tuck you want. And so this is going to really, when you're doing this, you're straining a ton in the front of the neck here. And so you're going to end up feeling really sore in this part of your neck, into your clavicle possibly even. So you want to really make sure you're avoiding that. Try to stay relaxed with your head. You don't want to lift it off the bench, but you also don't want to tuck it in like that. So try to keep a neutral head flat on the bench. And if the weight's just a little too heavy for you to get up without doing that, then you might just need to lighten the weight a little bit and leave the ego at the door. Mistake number 2 is flaring your elbows out too wide. And so this is really common with beginners. They will be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Squared off like this, where they've got the weights perfectly together. And then when they come out perfectly like this. And it might look all good and great, but you want to actually turn these weights in slightly. And when you come down with the elbows, be dropping them right there. And so you want to make sure you're not flared out here. You want to be here and then pressing up like this. There's a couple reasons for this. For one, when you go out wide like this, you're putting a lot of tension on your shoulders and you're not getting as much work directly on the chest. Now, you're going to get a lot of work right out here on the outside of the chest, but when you bring them in slightly like this and you press from here, you're going to be working the entire chest. You're going to feel soreness in your whole chest, not just right where your shoulder connects to the chest. Now, another thing with this is just because you turned the weights in doesn't mean your elbows aren't still flaring. So you could still flare like this even with the weights turned. You wonder how that happens? Well, because there's 2 parts that I have to rotate here. I have to first rotate the hands, but then I also have to make sure the shoulders rotate with it. You can keep your shoulders rotated out even though your hands turned in. And so if I'm just turning my hands, but I'm not actually rotating the shoulders with them, I'm still going to end up flaring. So here's the correct position. Once again, keeping everything right here. It's going to feel a lot better on your shoulders as well, not pinching and creating that extra strain on your shoulder joint. This is also why dumbbells are, in my opinion, preferred to the barbell, because obviously the bar is like this and you can't turn like this. And so it makes it a little bit tougher to bring those. All you can do is you can turn the elbows, but the wrists have to stay locked with the barbell. So the dumbbells are usually more preferred. The last mistake that you might be making is preferring your weak side. So what do I mean by that? Well, you probably are going to know pretty quick because you've probably done it. Let's say you're on rep number 10, 12, 15, whatever it is. You're getting towards the end and you go down and it's really tough and you're not sure if you can get this last one up. And what happens? Well, you go like this. And you'll notice what happened was, even though this arm got up first, I start pressing, I get this arm up first and then this one follows. It's not because this is my weak arm. In fact, the arm that ends up going up first is the weak side. What's happening is I don't have any more strength to press this arm up. And so instead I start to cheat. I kind of turn and I twist my body to get that arm up because my shoulder gave out, it was too weak. And then this side I have no problem and I can still get it up. And so when you start to do that, what's happening is it means my chest is done and I probably just need to stop. But instead I'm trying to get that last rep. And so I turn to get that weight up and then this one follows. Instead, what you should do is, as you get down, you start that fight and you're failing, keep good form, press, press, press. And if I can't get up anymore, just finish, drop the dumbbells down and you're done. Now, again, this is going to be why dumbbells are preferred to barbell, because unless you have a spotter, You can't fail with barbell, because if you fail, obviously you're stuck. And so with the dumbbells, you can keep that form, and as you push and you fight, don't give in to that desire to just kind of cheat with that one side. It's going to end up in the long run creating lots of tension and soreness in the neck, and you're using your shoulder blade to twist and try to push that weight. And so it's not ideal. You want to preserve all that and make sure you're using just your pecs. If the pecs give out, they can't handle the weight anymore, then you're done. All right, there you have it. 3 mistakes that you want to avoid while bench pressing. And again, if you haven't yet, go check out those first 3 mistakes that you may be making also. I've got them linked in the description. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.